A woman creates a fake profile flaunting wealth and watches her boyfriend try to flirt with it, unaware she's behind the account. Clara Thompson, a 27-year-old graphic designer living in the artsy suburbs of Brighton Falls, had always been skeptical of her boyfriend Dylan's obsession with Instagram influencers. With his camera roll full of bikini models and luxury travel accounts, she couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that his online world didn't quite match their humble reality. Dylan, 29, a fitness coach with sharp cheekbones, olive skin, and a golden tan, brushed off Clara's concerns with a laugh, claiming it was all just for fun. But Clara, auburn-haired with pale skin and forest green eyes, wasn't laughing. One night, as they scrolled through his feed, he paused just a second too long on a supermodel's yacht photo. Clara's stomach sank. She didn't argue. She didn't accuse. Instead, an idea formed. If he was so fascinated by luxury, why not give him a taste and see what he'd do? Clara set to work. She used an old photography account she'd never posted on and gave it a makeover. New name, Sienna Vale, age 25. A mysterious globe-trotting entrepreneur. Clara uploaded AI-generated images of a brunette model with glowing bronze skin, high cheekbones, and expensive clothes. She staged the account with posts of yachts in Greece, designer handbags, champagne flutes clinking under Paris lights. Clara spent nights curating captions about ambition, self-worth, and luxury living. If they can afford it, they'll chase it, she muttered, mimicking influencer talk. Then she followed Dylan. Within hours, he followed back. 3 days after Sienna Vale followed Dylan, he DM'd her. It started innocently. Nice page. Where are you based? Clara's pulse jumped. Her trap was working, and faster than she'd imagined. She replied with a flirty tone, a bit of everywhere. LA this week. Might hit London next month. What about you? Dylan's messages grew longer, more playful. He used winking emojis, compliments like, you've got a rare kind of beauty, and sent shirtless gym selfies she'd never seen before. Clara stared at the screen, heart racing. This wasn't just curiosity, he was trying to impress. Every morning, Clara kissed Dylan goodbye. Every night she talked to him as Sienna, the lines blurred. In person, Dylan was kind and attentive. But online he was someone else, more adventurous, more flirtatious. One night, Clara asked him what he thought about online relationships. He shrugged, saying, they're not real unless you meet in person. Her chest tightened. Sienna then messaged, would you ever meet a stranger from Instagram? Dylan replied, if they were interesting enough. He wasn't just failing the test, he was walking toward the edge of betrayal with a smile. Dylan began bragging to Clara about a cool influencer who followed him. Sienna Vale, ever heard of her? He grinned. She's crazy rich, might be in London next month. Clara forced a smile. She sounds interesting. Oh, she is, Dylan chuckled, showing her Sienna's yacht post. The irony burned. She had photoshopped that yacht herself using stock images. He even joked, imagine if I dated someone like that. I'd be jet-setting in no time. The words landed like a slap. It wasn't just digital cheating anymore. It was greed disguised as charm. Clara started documenting everything, screenshots, timestamps, every flirty word he typed. She organized them in a hidden folder called Proof. Late at night she'd scroll through them, each message a dagger. But doubt crept in too. Was she wrong to have set him up? Was this entrapment, or just a revealing mirror? Yet the more she read, the clearer it became. He wasn't resisting temptation, he was dancing in it. Clara, through the persona of Sienna, decided to raise the stakes. She sent Dylan a message. I'll be in London next Friday. Would be nice to meet someone real while I'm there. Drinks? The typing bubble appeared almost instantly. His reply? I'd love that. Just say when and where. Clara's stomach dropped. He didn't hesitate. No questions about his actual girlfriend, no guilt, no pause, just an eager yes. She stared at the screen in disbelief. Her boyfriend had agreed to meet a stranger he'd never seen in person while sharing a bed with her every night. There was no misunderstanding anymore. This wasn't a game for him. He was ready to cheat. The days leading up to Friday were tormenting. Clara oscillated between rage and heartbreak. Every sweet word Dylan said at breakfast, every kiss on her forehead felt like a lie. She started withdrawing, he noticed. Everything okay, babe? She forced a smile. Just work stress. Inside she was unraveling. How could someone be so gentle in person yet so disloyal behind a screen? Clara didn't eat much. She barely slept. But she knew one thing. She had to follow through. She had to see what he'd do when Sienna stood him up or worse, confronted him. Clara rented a luxury dress and booked a table at an upscale rooftop bar in London. She wouldn't reveal herself immediately. Not yet. Instead, she planned to watch from a distance, hidden behind tinted sunglasses and a reserved persona. She'd already told Dylan, as Sienna, to meet her there at 7 p.m. sharp. As she zipped up the shimmering red dress in her apartment, she caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror and whispered, "Let's see how far you'll go for someone who doesn't exist." Friday evening, Clara arrived at the bar 20 minutes early and claimed a discreet table in the corner with a perfect view of the main entrance. Her heart pounded with each passing minute. At exactly 7:03 p.m., Dylan walked in, freshly shaven, cologne strong, wearing the navy blue button-up she'd gifted him for their last anniversary. He looked around eagerly, phone in hand, texting Sienna, "I'm here. Where are you?" Clara's fingers clenched the wine glass. He was here. He actually came, for someone he'd never met, while she sat just feet away unrecognized. Clara watched Dylan as he waited, texting, refreshing, checking the time. He ordered a drink and leaned back, trying to look casual. But the anticipation in his eyes was clear. He thought this influencer might change his life, or at least his night. He texted again. "Still coming." Clara didn't reply. Not yet. She watched him shift uncomfortably in his seat, occasionally looking at the door, fixing his hair. Every second he stayed proved something painful. She wasn't enough for him. After 30 minutes of watching him grow increasingly anxious, Clara texted, still as Sienna, "Running late. Traffic. 10 more minutes?" Dylan responded with a smile emoji and waved the bartender over for another drink. Clara couldn't believe it. He was settling in, getting comfortable. Like this was just another night out, without a care for the relationship he'd left behind. She realized then, there was no mistake, no confusion. He was ready to betray her, and he felt no guilt about it. At 8:10 p.m., Clara stood up and slowly walked toward Dylan's table. She removed her sunglasses and took a deep breath. He didn't notice her at first, but when she stopped right in front of him, he looked up and froze. "Clara?" he asked, blinking in shock. "Expecting someone else," she replied coldly, his face drained of color. "What are you doing here? You tell me," she snapped. "Waiting on your influencer girlfriend, the one you've been texting for 2 weeks?" He couldn't speak. His mouth opened but no sound came out. Clara sat down across from him and opened her phone. "Here's everything," she said, showing him the screenshots, every message, every compliment, every flirtation, every lie. He tried to explain, stammering excuses. "I thought it was just harmless. I didn't know it was you. I was never going to go through with it. You were here," she said flatly. "You are here." The weight of truth silenced him. For once, Dylan had no witty comeback, no smooth escape. People around them glanced over, sensing the tension. Dylan lowered his voice. "Can we talk about this at home?" "No," Clara said firmly. "You made this decision in public. We'll deal with it here." She stood up. "This wasn't just about flirting, Dylan. It was about character. And you failed." He tried to grab her hand, but she pulled away. "Don't." With her head high and heart fractured, Clara turned and walked out, leaving behind the man who once promised forever. Back home, Clara packed a small bag. She didn't wait for Dylan to return. She left her key on the table and took her things to her sister's place for the night. Tears finally flowed, not for the lost relationship, but for the trust she'd once believed in, for the time, the love, the hope she had invested in someone who didn't deserve any of it. It hurt, but it was clear. She wouldn't be the girl who stayed after betrayal. Over the next few days, Dylan sent dozens of messages, apologies, explanations, promises. "It meant nothing," he wrote. "It was a fantasy. You're real. I love you." But Clara knew better now. Love that only exists when untested isn't love at all. It's comfort, it's habit, and it's fragile. She didn't reply, she blocked him, she moved on. Some things, once broken, shouldn't be fixed. Weeks passed. Clara returned to her work, started therapy, and deleted the Sienna account. She no longer needed it. What she had discovered was painful, but it also freed her. She saw her own worth more clearly. She wasn't someone to compete with fake influencers. She was someone who deserved loyalty without tests. She journaled, she read, she healed. Slowly, the ache in her chest faded into clarity. Months later, Clara shared her experience anonymously on a relationship podcast. Her story resonated with thousands. People messaged her about their own betrayals, their own awakenings. She wasn't alone. She had exposed something deeper, not just in Dylan but in society, in how easily love is traded for illusion, how dangerous the digital mask can be. Clara wasn't bitter. She was wiser, stronger, and finally free. One summer morning, Clara walked by the same bar where she had confronted Dylan. She paused, smiled faintly, then kept walking. The past didn't hurt anymore. It had taught her, transformed her. Love, she realized, must be honest, and anyone who can't stay loyal, even behind a screen, doesn't deserve to stay at all. If you were moved by this story, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional journeys and lessons in love, betrayal, and self-worth.